Okay, hi, I'm Ben, this is Evan and Dustin, and we're presenting case 3.1 Pronto Retail Centers. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what Pronto is and what it's all about. It's a well-established company. It's mainly in the northeastern part of the United States. There are 125 outlets. Of those outlets, 31 are company-owned and 94 are independently owned. There are 3 components to each store. There's a car wash, an oil change center, and a convenience store. There are some franchising agreements with the 94 independent companies. The only thing that is required of those independent companies is that they buy their gas and their oil from Pronto. The other requirements are that, well, they're not completely required to buy their convenience store merchandise from Pronto, but they are required to have a percentage of it. They also are in agreement to have the appearance. They have to have a professional store, just like the company-owned ones. As far as the corporate hierarchy goes, John Rickles is the Vice President of Sales. He oversees the 5 regional managers. Those 5 regional managers then oversee the sales staff who are required to meet quotas as far as the sales objectives go. I'll pass it on to Evan now with the analysis.
Yeah, basically next what we wanted to do is make an analysis of the company and kind of overview some of the issues that they're having. And then Dustin will move on to make some recommendations with those issues. Currently, the company stores are operating at an annual growth rate of 12%, which is very respectable for their company. But on the contrary, there's a disconnect in the independent stores have only recorded a 2% growth. And according to John Rickles, he has 3 points that he feels are the reasons for this. First is the poor appearance of independent stores and the unprofessional appearance that they have for the customers that are going there. Also, the independent stores are buying more and more convenience products from low-cost distributors outside of the Pronto distribution circle, and ultimately that is hurting sales volume and company rebates. And thirdly, he expresses that they're experiencing volume loss because of closing stores. They have like a 60-day turnaround for when a independently owned store closes, and basically that is because of they have an aggressive growth strategy, and that's eating up a lot of capital, and that's not allowing them to take over independently owned stores that are closing down. And to kind of remedy this, Rickles has a 5-point strategy that he wants to try to implement, and he held a meeting with his 5 regional managers to try to brief them on this and get them to move forward with it. But during the meeting, it kind of had a big disconnect, and the regional managers expressed a number of concerns. The 2 main concerns is that they feel the corporate strategy is focused on building market share, but while at the same time the sales organization has been required to also build and hold, and we feel that that is like a separate focus, and that doesn't really help align with the goals that they want to try to implement. And also they with their growing strategy, they want to try to implement some kind of incentive for their salespeople as like a commission base, because right now the salespeople are operating at a salary base, and there's no incentive for them to basically push on more to try to grow the company as a whole.
Now, on my part, which is the evaluation, we first looked at the 5-point plan of Rickles and analyzed that and seeing what we thought about it. And first thing is we saw that it was a poorly defined sales staff or sales person. They kind of threw around the term a little too leniently. So we thought first off is he may need to break down and have the actual sales manager, sales team, and with about the commission based. That's what we were more on the focus of going for the commission based on that. But then which bounces into the lack of the sales force incentives, which they have no commission, so what is their incentive to really push to sell more? And in this meeting that Rickles had with his 5 regional managers, when they spoke to him about the incentives, he just spoke and he stated that their job is pretty much their incentive to sell more. So we didn't really see that as a good atmosphere. And then like the last part about the 5-point plan was extended dealer turnover, which was like the 60-day compared to like 30-day, which would be better. And with like recommendations, like we thought revising like the franchising contracts would help with this like issue, but it seems like they kind of like haven't really, their extended growth, like trying to work for more growth has kind of prohibited this because it's eating up too much capital. So like that's part of like our recommendations is the revised franchising contracts, and then revision of the growth strategy, which would also be based in the revision of the franchising contracts, which we thought like one thing was mainly like either put in like some type of percentage or say that if they're meeting a certain like growth goal, like the independent stores, that then they can buy from low cost distributors like a higher percentage. But to make this like growth strategy for Pronto, they need to like push these independent stores to be buying more products from them, and some incentive to the company, some incentive to the sales force. And like these are pretty much our recommendations and our evaluation of Pronto. So any questions?